So this particular region where my organization is active is a drought-prone area. It receives very small amounts of rainfall in a year, as little as approximately 200 millimeters. So it's chronically impacted by droughts, by food insecurity, and by water insecurity. The farming community that we try to reach is small-scale farmers who are basically dependent on rainfall for their crops. And they struggle all the time with the limited rainfalls, with the limited seeds and other supplies which are available for themselves. And so the crop production for them is very, very limited. And agriculture remains to be the backbone of the rural economy. So the farming communities that we work with are extremely impoverished, and they lack all those means to grow good crops. Yeah, the communities, they have had their own coping mechanisms to mitigate droughts and to raise their own productivity. So one of the traditional farming bund system which exists in this area in Rajasthan of India was created, invented by a farming community in the 15th century, and that has been a very successful practice. But a lot of farmers could not get that constructed because it's quite expensive. So over a period of time, GRAVIS, my organization, has worked extensively on reducing the cost of the technology by bringing innovations and by making changes in the construction design so that it is more affordable and more sustainable. So that is one example, and in the interest of time I will not speak about a lot of other technologies which are available. But in a nutshell, there are a number of good practices, traditional pieces of farming knowledge which are available. It's a question of blending that knowledge with scientific knowledge, modern inputs, and make it more affordable and replicable for communities. Absolutely, it has great potential. First of all, it's a research program, so there is a good research component which will understand the needs of the farming communities and which will look at what can be done as innovative ways of improving their incomes, their crop productions. So first of all, we are optimistic that new ways would be found out. At the same time, the research program brings resources for experimenting some of the interventions that have been invented and some of them which will be invented. So that, in totality, provides a lot of opportunity for the farming communities to raise their incomes and knowledge levels. Yes, agricultural science has definitely been a dynamic science, and a lot of changes have taken place in the recent years. The farming community that we work with in a lot of arid zones, including in Rajasthan, remain to be very less educated, and they do not have the contemporary knowledge of the changes, of the technical innovations that are coming up. A lot needs to be done on educating farmers on cropping systems, on the new types of seeds, seed conservation. Also a lot of rainwater harvesting practices which could be quite handy in arid regions. So there are knowledge gaps, and those knowledge gaps have been filled in some ways, in some areas where organizations have worked. So this CRP again is an excellent opportunity to provide that knowledge, not only in the action sites, but beyond the action sites where the lessons can be taken up and the program could be, well, not the program, but the learning of the program could be taken up.